Okay, let's just dive right in. We're all feeling it, right? This new kind of chaos at work, it's not just about keeping up with some new app. It's a fundamental shift in complexity, and it's being totally supercharged by AI. The old rulebooks, they're pretty much useless now. So today, we're going to explore the new operating model that's starting to take shape. I bet this looks familiar. For so many companies, even the ones that call themselves Agile, this is what's really going on under the hood. It's this tangled mess of backlogs, processes, and endless meetings trying to figure out who's responsible for what. It's a spaghetti monster we built ourselves, and frankly, it's slowing everything to a crawl. You know, the hard truth we have to face is that the systems we've relied on for decades are, well, they're broken. They were designed for a totally different world, and it's time we really understood why they're failing us right now. And that leads to this really big question, a question that's buzzing around the entire industry. After all these years of transformations and certifications and consultants, why have so many leaders just lost faith in the whole promise of Agile? And look, the reasons are probably not going to surprise you. We were sold this miracle cure, but the results were kind of underwhelming. We saw companies where the tool, yeah, I'm looking at you, Jira, became the entire strategy. We got this massive bloat from trying to scale everything, a total disconnect from the actual business goals, and just a massive case of transformation fatigue. Leaders felt left out of the loop, not empowered by it, so yeah, it's no wonder the trust just evaporated. So here's the real kicker. The very top-down, hierarchical structure that once made companies efficient is now the biggest thing holding them back. In a world defined by complexity, and now amplified by AI, you absolutely need dynamic networks that can adapt on the fly, not rigid layers that just create friction and slow everyone down. So if the old models are broken, what's the alternative? Well, let's dig into this new idea called organizational liquidity. It's such a simple but really powerful idea. See, liquidity isn't just about being fast. It's about staying on the same page and holding things together while you're moving fast, even when you hit turbulence or something totally unexpected pops up. It's all about coherence in motion. This visual it nails the mental shift we need to make. We've got to stop thinking of our organizations as these solid, predictable, orderly blocks. Instead, we have to start seeing them for what they really are: complex, dynamic, liquid systems. Kind of like this vortex, just constantly adapting and flowing. Okay, let's get precise for a second, because the language here really matters. Liquid is not the same thing as fluid. Being liquid is about having the capacity to move, having the resources, the freedom, the options. Being fluid is about how you move, smoothly, adaptively. So one is the power to change and the other is the practice of changing. You gotta have both. Okay, so we get the what. But how does a liquid organization actually work? Well, the secret is in a new AI-powered operating model. Here it is. This is the core engine. You've got AI handling all the heavy lifting of coordination. And that frees up us humans to do what we do best: high-value, creative collaboration. And guiding the whole thing are leaders who are focused on strategic orchestration, pointing the way without getting bogged down in the details. Now, don't get spooked by the phrase AI coordination. It's actually pretty simple. Think about planning a dinner party with your friends. While everyone's chatting about what to cook, the AI is kind of listening in the background. It's not telling you what to do, it's just quietly flagging potential problems in real time. Hey, just a heads up, Edith's allergic to nuts. Or, careful, that date clashes with a big game. It just surfaces the conflicts so you can solve them. Simple as that. This quote just perfectly captures the new role of a leader. Your job isn't to micromanage how everyone swims, it's to create the right environment. Your job is to get rid of the bureaucratic concrete floor, provide the resources, that's the water, and then trust your team to do what they already know how to do. And this right here is why so many big, expensive AI initiatives fail. Just slapping powerful AI on top of a rigid, broken system doesn't create magic. It just creates faster chaos. You end up with these super fast ducks just frantically running around, crashing into each other on a concrete floor. You have to change the system first. So this isn't just about changing one team or one company. This shift is so fundamental, it's about to completely reshuffle the entire business world. Take a look at this disruption heat map. The key thing it's measuring is something called internal transmission loss, which is just a fancy way of saying internal friction and red tape. The more an organization struggles with slow decision-making and bureaucracy, the more vulnerable it is. And as you can see, that's a huge problem in places like banking, telecom, and big public institutions. For years, really smart people like John Cotter have dreamed of this dual operating system, a stable hierarchy running alongside a dynamic, agile network. It was a brilliant idea, but it never really worked at scale. It was always missing something.
And you guessed it, that missing ingredient is AI. AI is the thing that finally solves the massive coordination headache that's always held back these networked models. For the first time ever, we can have both alignment and autonomy. We don't have to choose between them anymore. And that is a game changer. So what's the reward for getting this right? Well, it's huge. Instead of your teams feeling constantly overloaded, they're focused. Instead of being chained to a rigid 2-week sprints, you get this cadence-free flow of delivery. It gives you way more granular ways to manage risk, it makes you incredibly resilient to surprises, and, most importantly, it carves out more space to actually innovate and have a much bigger impact. So, with the system changing this much, the roles people play have to evolve too. And this is especially true for anyone in a leadership or coaching position. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? The future is about being more of a strategist and way less of a controller. It's about cultivating leadership everywhere in the organization, instead of concentrating all the power in a few leaders at the very top. And when you put it all in context, you see this is just the next logical step. We started with the Agile Manifesto way back in 2001, then we focused on flow and Kanban, then came all the attempts at scaled frameworks. In 2023, the AI wave hit, and that changed the nature of work itself. The next era, which is starting right now, is all about liquidity, where the organization's core ability to change direction becomes everything. And let's just talk about the scale of this opportunity for a second. To help navigate this massive shift, one estimate says that Europe alone is going to need 1 million new strategists. And we're not just talking about people with strategist in their job title. We're talking about people at every level who can think systemically, who can connect the dots, and who can guide their teams through all this complexity. So we'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. The world is becoming more liquid, whether we're ready for it or not. And the crucial question you have to ask yourself is this. Right now, is your organization built to float on this new current, or is it designed to sink?